was not who I wanted to be.
I was a blackout drunk. I could not stop drinking.
I was very ashamed of who I was and some of the things that I had done.
I tried to get sober and I couldn't do it. I was like that close to being homeless. My next step was homelessness. And then discovered opiates and then became an opiate addict.
Couldn't really look anybody in the eyes.
I remember writing in my journal that, Eric, you're a junkie. You're a dope fiend. Life was unbearable. I couldn't stand who I was. I didn't think that there was a solution or an option. It was miserable. I did not want to live. I did not have anywhere to go.
Well, it started with Marty Mann, who's known as the first woman to get sober in the 12-step programs back in New York. And she moved to Santa Barbara in 1949. And in 1950, they started the Santa Barbara Committee on Alcoholism, which was Marty Mann, Henry Jackson, John Morse, Mildred Panera, and Elmo Little. So in 1950, they started a drop-in center in Santa Barbara to get phone calls and for people to stop in and find out what was happening in recovery. And it was really huge. They started getting 1,200 calls a month, according to the history, and the drop-in center became pretty much overwhelmed in 1960. Or 1955 was when Elmo Little started New House in Santa Barbara. He said we need a new house on a new street in a new town to help the new man in recovery.
My name is Bill McCormick, and I was the executive director of New House from the beginning of January 1986 through February 2012. To me, New House is about getting a second chance in life. Okay, so I wanted to make it easier for these people to start a second life. And most men that come in have lost the trust of family, friends, jobs, and so I wanted to help them build that trust back up with their family and friends and become productive.
The mission of New House is to provide a safe and sober environment for men to turn their lives around and reclaim their sense of purpose and their self-esteem. We have 3 facilities, New House 3, which is 45 men, New House 2, which is also 45 men, and the Grad House, which is 8 men. The Grad House is more autonomous.
I had a business up in the Santa Ynez Valley for 26 years I pretty much lost because of my alcoholism. I could not stop drinking. So that was gone. I was getting evicted. This was my last shot. I said, I'll give New House a shot. We have a lot of rules here at New House. Little rules like, take your hat off in the house, do your chore, a bunch of little things like that, and they all add up, in my opinion. And the guys that have success here are the guys that follow all those little rules. Within a year, I saw a huge change. I was not that guy that was being evicted anymore. I was not that homeless guy. It taught me how to live like a normal human being. How it was then, it was miserable. I did not want to live. I did not have anywhere to go. How it is now, it's amazing. I mean, it's the life that I should have been living all along.
Drugs and alcohol took a toll on my life. On the outside, I can go out and smile just like anybody else. You probably wouldn't even even think I was as heavily on drugs as I was, but inside there was nothing going on. I more or less could care less if I lived or died. After years of drinking and doing drugs, I came in here, surrendered, threw myself into the program, was just so grateful just to be here and have a roof over my head. Not only have I got 3 years of recovery under my belt, but I've also grown a lot as a person. My health has improved significantly. I've started doing all the things that I enjoyed before.
I found myself in a new place, on the streets, using every penny I had to drink and use, and it got really, really bad. I'd always been adverse to coming to a place like this. A lot of fear around fitting in. Could I get along? You know, I'd never really lived in a place like this, never lived with a bunch of guys before. I didn't really ever get along very well. So, you know, but I reached a point of desperation where I was willing to try anything. Like many men who come in here, I came in with a backpack and the clothes I wore, and there wasn't much in the backpack. They put me on a scholarship program because obviously I didn't have a penny to my name. I saw opportunities here. Initially, those opportunities looked like volunteering for washing dishes or cleaning up, you know, or just making myself present. And that made it easier to just feel comfortable here. And they gave me things to do. And just over the course of time, as I just continued to be present daily and make myself available, it became easier and easier.
I remember writing in my journal that, you know, Eric, you're a junkie. You know, you're a dope fiend and you're going to die a junkie. You're going to die a dope fiend. I didn't think that there was a solution or an option. Coming to a new house, I had just graduated the rescue mission, and I had a little over a year sober, and I needed a place that, like a transition from going from a residential treatment program to the world, basically. New house provided me with enough structure, but also with enough leeway to kind of grow and develop. And today, if I was to walk out these doors and start off on the journey on my own, I would be confident that I have the support system and the know-how to stay sober.
When they come to New House, they have the opportunity to be amongst their peers. They go to work, they deal with their relationships and their families. They come home from work, say at 5 o'clock, and they all sit together and eat dinner, much like they did when Elmo founded New House. And they share the ups and downs of the day.
There's been estimated between 20 and 30,000 men that have come through the doors of New House. And I predict there's easily going to be another 20 or 30,000. And the community, I want the community to reach out to support the men that are yet to come.
I would probably be dead if I wasn't here, because if I was still out there drinking and using, there's no way I'm gonna go to the hospital.
Life is just a whole lot better now. You know, this is the happiest I've been in over 10 years, by far.
I'm active in my church. The pastor of my church just asked me if I would be interested in being a deacon. I don't even know what that means, but still, like, that. You want me to be a deacon?
I kept hearing in Santa Barbara, this new house, and then when I came, I really put it all together, just how many men have come to New House and succeeded. And you know, all the guys that run this house and New House 3, they've all come here just like me and worked and gotten to a point where they contribute in that way. And then all those other men that I hear that are doing well, and they were here, and there's still men that I meet who have done it. I mean, that's a pretty valuable asset to any community, I would say.